Report on Atlanta's big station, V103.
It is your Ryan Report, where they are filming us on V-103.com, even when they don't tell us.
Oh, that's
They
creepy.
filmed the second Ryan Report yesterday, and they were in there playing with it.
Isn't that called stalking?
Yeah, I do believe so. And it's being brought to you by...
Being brought to you by D&K Suit City. Need shoes, Florsheim, Stacey Adams, U.S. Polo, and more, sizes up to 17, and all at half the prices at the mall. Make D&K your call.
All right, Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa going to make their stoner movie, High School. They announced that.
Oh, How High?
No, High School.
Oh, How High Part 2? Okay.
Yeah, but they got kicked off the set, which of course was at a local California school while filming the video for the movie's title track, High School. They were granted permission to film the video at the Mira Costa High in Manhattan Beach for $3,000 a day, but the principal was forced to pull the plug when he discovered, surprise, they were smoking weed on the set.
Well, what's the name of the movie, dummy?
Well, the principal said in a statement to the newspaper that it was evident to us that they did not act with professionalism and did not understand where they were, a high school campus. There's already video on YouTube that shows Snoop lighting up on school grounds because he thinks because he has a medical permit. Remember, he and Wiz both have medical marijuana permits, so I guess like we go and say, give me 2 Tylenol. They be like, hey, man, my head hurt. Bring me the kush.
That's nice. From the school nurse.
So there you go. So
I don't understand what the principal's tripping about, buddy. What did you think was going to happen? It's Snoop and Wiz, and look at the name of the movie. Relax.
Okay, this comes from the, you know what, man? Or as Elle would say, you know what, bruh?
Bruh.
You should have took this one to the grave. Sugar Ray Leonard, who just had a birthday yesterday, I believe, he turned 55, has a book called The Big Fight, My Life In and Out of the Ring, where he talks about being sexually abused as a young fighter in New York, according to the New York Times. He said he was 15 years old, went on a boxing trip to Utica in 1971. He was sexually abused by a coach. He said the same coach abused him in a parked car several years later. He says the incident has haunted me for life. I didn't scream. I didn't look at him. I just opened the door and ran.
It's really, those are tricky though, Ryan, because you say to yourself, okay, you're 55, your career's bent over, like, why are you bringing this stuff up? You know what I mean? At the same time, you know, something like that weighs on your conscience for a long time, and I think it can be really cathartic to get it out and talk about it.
Especially if you're trying to sell a whole bunch of books.
Well, that too.
You know, because when they leak out what they want to leak out, to say, we need an excerpt from your book that's going to make people go out and buy it.
Right.
Other than the fact that you won Olympic gold and you were a very famous boxer.
Yep.
Like, what are we going to do? We need something to sell it.
What's the angle?
We need a hook for this.
Yep.
And you go, you know.
I was molested.
The guy's dead.
Right. So he again, and that goes back, you know what? That goes back to the same thing with the guy from the Mamas and the Papas. Remember the old actress that said her father used to sleep with her?
Right.
He's dead now. He can't necessarily defend himself. So you waited 30 years or 40
Well,
years
he
to talk
doesn't
about
even
it.
name the guy.
Right.
He just says
A
he's
trainer.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, a trainer. So, you know, some people say that kind of stuff. You might, you know, hey, man.
Could be, couldn't be.
But if you're writing a book,
yeah, it's important.
It's different.
We call it the Halle Berry. You don't say who beat you. You just said someone did. So you leave us to guess for the rest of our lives.
Joe Jackson has done it.
Here we go.
I know we had Joe on the show. He came in, he had the hat, he had the entourage. And the first thing I said to myself was, I sure would like to smell like that guy.
Don't even do the story.
Thank
Just
you,
end it.
Joe Jackson.
No.
Today's word of the day, by the way, on the Ryan Cameron Show, starring L. Duncan, is Joe Jackson. After the Ryan Report, if I mention Joe Jackson, L mentions Joe Jackson, if Crash mentions Joe Jackson, if you're caller 103, you'll win whatever we have in the V103 prize vault, which should be NERD tickets. It could be R. Kelly tickets.
Yep.
It could be tickets to who knows. It could be Six Flags. If I ever say Joe Jackson or L or Crash D says it, for the rest of the, as soon as you hear it, because it's going to happen.
Yes.
Then you call
After
in.
this story.
After the Ryan Report.
Yes.
After the Ryan Report.
Absolutely. I think that's great.
There's a new scent Joe Jackson has for both men and women. He debuted it in France this week. The man's...
It's a unisex?
No, it's two gender.
Okay.
The man's cologne is called Tribute. The woman's cologne is called Legend.
No.
According to reports, I know you're saying, well, what do they smell like? Joe says the cologne for men is heavily musky. If you ever had musk, you say, oh, musky. And the woman's cologne is Floral Harmony. Imagine you get a whole bunch of flowers and you put them in a pot, and then you say, I got daffodils, I got roses, I got petunias, I got lilies, and they're not just regular lilies, they Easter lilies. Floral Harmony.
Freshly beat flowers. That's
No
his favorite.
word on when it will be available to purchase.
He could have come up with a more clever name than that or something, though. You don't think so? Like,
If I was Joe Jackson, you know what I would have called my
What?
cologne? Ow! And it'd be like cologne for the genital areas.
what?
You know, you never know. You got on a date, you go out somewhere, and then you get lucky, and you be like, wait a minute, you ain't finna do that, did you? Ow! Even on 3.
Oh, my God.
And if you don't know, now you know, you know, you know.
The Ryan Report. The Ryan Report.